Welcome to this week's Candidate Voices with 5051 Savannah, the series that brings you 5-minute interviews with candidates for Georgia's 1st Congressional District U.S. House election 2026. We welcome any candidates running for this office who meet our mission of upholding the Constitution and ending executive overreach to participate. Each of our candidates receive the same question in advance and are allowed to prepare. Welcome to week 6 of Candidate Voices with 5051 Savannah. I'm here with Joey Palimeno. Welcome, Joey. Today's topic is timely. We're talking about water. With the Clean Water Act protections narrowed and federal enforcement scaled back under the Trump administration, with industries here polluting rivers like the Ogeechee and data centers demanding more water, how will you ensure coastal Georgia has safe drinking water and room for economic growth?
Thank you for having me again. So when we talk about coastal Georgia's future, nothing is more fundamental than clean water. Our families need it to drink, our fishermen and farmers want it to make a living, and our communities need it to grow. But right now, that future is being threatened under the Trump administration. The Clean Water Act was gutted, federal enforcement was scaled back, and corporations were given more leeway to dump pollutants into rivers like the Ogeechee. On top of that, the rise of water-intensive industries like data centers that are popping up all over Georgia and the country are putting more pressure on our water supply. We see the impacts of not having clean water here in Georgia. Just a few days ago, Savannah had her boys oil advisories after turbidity levels spiked at the industrial and domestic water treatment plant. This blocks chlorine from killing harmful microorganisms. The immediate cause was a malfunction in the system that adds a chemical that clears the water, but the long-term cause is deeper than that. It's a plant that is 80 years old and a demand for surface water that, again, is increasing on sources like the Savannah River, and that's only going to continue to grow. Families across the city were left wondering if the water out of their tap was going to be safe, and that should never happen in America, especially in 2025. We are also faced with the rollbacks of the 2003 Supreme Court case that further gutted our protections on wetlands that are not just beautiful, but they are critical infrastructure. They protect floods, filter out pollutions, and safeguard our streams. The Trump administration also rolled back protections against PFAS or forever chemicals linked to cancer, liver damage, developmental problems. His EPA rolled back federal limits on several PFAS compounds, delayed enforcement deadlines, even tried to block states from enforcing PFAS products in packaging and cookware. So how do we make sure our kids can drink from the tap safely and at the same time responsible growth? I believe the two go hand in hand. First, we need to restore their Clean Water Act protections. This means real federal enforcement, resources to state and local governments, and accountability for polluters. Company is going to dump into our rivers, they should pay the price, not our families, not our fishermen, and not our children. Next, we must modernize our infrastructure. That means upgrading treatment plants like Savannah's, fixing old pipes, that means no lead pipes by 2030, and making sure smaller towns have safe drinking water just like the big ones. For industries like data centers, we should require water recycling technology for farmers. We can expand programs that help adopt precise irrigation and conservation practices that save money and also protect our water at the same time. Finally, this comes down to fairness. Working families shouldn't live with boil advisories, toxic chemicals, and higher water bills while corporations continue to get tax breaks. Federal investment needs to flow in communities like ours in District 1 that strengthen clean water infrastructure and support projects that are sustainable for long growth. Our infrastructure has long been underinvested. It's a D+ grade. We have got recent investment under the Biden administration, but that still was way too little. I believe it was the estimates show we need 4 trillion, to fix our infrastructure, and we only invested about a little over 500 billion in new spending. So every 5 years to do infrastructure bill, I hope Congress steps forward and this year to do more. And if not, I will definitely make sure those investments flow to places like ours. Because we need not only just water, our infrastructure, water, bridges, airports, broadband, all that kind of stuff. It's in very poor shape for being the richest country in the world. We honestly should be ashamed. We need more stuff like high rail, public transportation, stuff like that. And that's what I want to bring to Georgia. And thank you very much for having me, everybody. Having me. I really appreciate it. Happily go get my parental rights,
Yeah.
in Florida.
That's got to weigh pretty heavy on you.
That was a little odd, honestly. It was just strange.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm honestly was blessed for me to be able to be nice and whatnot. Like I said, I did pay for both bills, which was stressful, but it's just it was nice for it. It was tough to get easier
Yeah.
because I essentially would have had to find a whole nother apartment very very quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were
And
gonna
that's hard.
we had plans to move up her she was going to move at the same areas as well. We were going to did a we were going to get a place together, and then yeah, that everything blew up, and she left the lease that I helped her with out down in a Fernandina, just left that. Okay, whatever. Sorry.
Sorry.
But yeah, I'm doing good.